Now, BHL again probes the mysterious world of the millennials to reveal how and what young America thinks. It's another spine-tingling journey into Yaffee World.
All right, so we are in the zone this morning. And Yaffee is here. The zone.
The Yaffee zone?
No, we are in the Bernie Sanders zone because the millennials are really opening up to this guy. Explain all of this to us, Mr. Yaffee.
Well, Mark, before the show yesterday, you had asked me to maybe talk about Bernie Sanders and why he's getting support of a lot of millennials. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like very much fun, but I'll do it. I'll do it. And so I tried to do some research on how much support he is getting from millennials. And you know what I found?
What's that?
Nothing. I can't find a poll that actually documents that he is getting a lot of support from millennials. I found a lot of stories that said he should get support, that because of his socialist policies, and that he probably will, and a lot of young people show up to his events and like him. But there's nothing I'm seeing that actually documents proof that Bernie Sanders is somehow getting all these millennial votes from everywhere.
So it's another media hype. Mm-hmm.
I think maybe it is, partly, because I'm not finding it. Now, I do think some millennials are obviously drawn to him. And I think this is the main reason that a lot of people aren't looking at. And once again, it's the economy.
Okay.
The economy has screwed my generation, probably more than any other generation out there right now. My generation is really feeling the hurt of the economy. So what is happening is they want something different. They want change, which, of course, they didn't get with Obama. But they want something different. So when they have a Bernie Sanders out there who basically talks to them and says, I'm going to give you free college. I'm going to give you free health care. I'm going to punish the billionaires and the big companies that aren't hiring you and giving you well-paid jobs. It's going to appeal.
Right.
To a lot.
Especially to that age group because of the very reasons you just said.
And unfortunately, there are a bunch of people in the millennial generation who do not listen to my show, even though they should.
That's right.
Beyond Reason Radio, search on iHeartRadio. But I will say there is some hope. There is some hope. I'm not necessarily convinced that millennials are just going to automatically go socialist. And one of the biggest evidence of that is Ron Paul and Rand Paul. They were libertarian, and they were also able to get a lot of support in millennials to show up to their events and everything else. So there is a split among millennials because they want something different than what's happening now. Yeah. So some are going more libertarian because they realize that it's the government, big government, that's really getting in their way to succeed.
Right.
And then you have another split where they want socialism. They believe it's big business that's getting in their way of success.
So they could really be the first independent thinker, not voter. In other words, I'm not all the way over here. I'm not all the way over here. It's a little bit of everything, and here's how we're going to fix it.
Possibly.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is our generation has more access to information than in the history of mankind.
Very true.
We have. Now, I think there's hope, though, because of the internet creates so much opportunity for my generation to have entrepreneurs. Look at Uber, for example. I always use that example. That is a big example of using internet, smartphone technology, everything to build entrepreneurs in this country.
Sure.
So my generation has an opportunity, but oftentimes the government is what really gets in their way, which is what's happening with Uber. And as they get older and as they try to build their businesses and as they try to be entrepreneurs, they're going to realize that it's the government that's really getting in their way, and it's going to make them want to fight back and go for less government. I believe. So there's some hope.
I appreciate your Yaffee World as always, and this was a really good one, especially today, based on the topic of conversation.
Yep, and that's what's going on here in Yaffee World.
Join us next time for another illuminating journey into the mind of the millennials in Yaffee World.